Hello, everyone. Welcome, finally, to the Haunted Hotel Q&A. I know this is well overdue. Also, Bailey isn't here, but Scott is filling in, because obviously Scott is a member of the team. He wasn't there at the Haunted Hotel one, but he has watched it and will be giving us a viewer's perspective, which is awesome. As we sit here right now, as of recording, the next investigation is finished and will be up. If you're watching this as is uploaded, it will be up on Sunday. Okay, so that is coming very soon, which is why we needed to get this done. Otherwise, there would have been not no point, but it would have been like, well, you're 2 investigations behind now. As hopefully we'll do the Q&A for the next investigation next week. Okay, right. So, let's start off with, before we get the video up, just a little discussion with the actual location itself. Because I was very... not... what's the word? I was excited, I was, but I was very apprehensive. Because I was like, we're going to a singular room. How, like, this is going to be 10 minutes. And then we're gonna, like, yeah, but somehow, I won't say squeezed, because I thought it was paced really well and I thought, you know, it was really cool. But somehow it was over an hour and we got a lot of activity in there. But how did you guys feel about it being one room before getting there?
It was exciting because, you know, there was a bed. We could just lay down if we wanted to. But also, I like the idea of going to places that aren't advertised as haunted locations. Like, the Bell very much is, you know, notorious for being haunted. It is called the Bell Hotel, isn't it? Or the Bell Inn.
The Bell Inn, I think. I think they go by both.
Yeah. It's very notorious for being haunted, you know, and they do actually host ghost events run by other teams. But I really liked the idea that we were just checking in as hotel guests. Yeah. They thought that we were going to the airport the following morning.
Yeah,
they didn't even know that half the team were there. It was excellent.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah.
But yeah, I was really looking forward to it, and I liked the idea that it was, you know, smaller and not a haunted location, if that makes sense.
Not to the extent of like 30 East Drive. You don't Airbnb that. That is because it's haunted. Whereas the Bell Inn, it is haunted. There is... that room is like the big haunted room, but that room is also their honeymoon suite.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. You just get married and then you get joined by... what was her name? Phyllis? What was her name? Betty. That's it. Betty. Yes. Scott, who wasn't there, remembers.
I don't remember.
Yeah, let's quickly.
That's why we need you, Scott.
Yeah, what did you think, Loz? How did you think it was going to go before?
I must admit, I always had the exact same thoughts crossing my mind as you did.
Yeah.
How are we possibly going to get not an hour, but how are we possibly going to get 25 half an hour? Like, out of this room, get that amount of content. I just didn't think it was possible, but I was there for the ride, and you know, that's what I was anticipating.
Yeah.
But in the end, we got well more than I think we probably even needed, to be honest. But yeah.
No, it was really cool. But just going back to what Maya said, it was me being stingy and pushing the line to the absolute limit of rules when it comes to hotels. Because obviously, if you book a hotel room, you can have people go back to your hotel room. They just can't stay because, you know, if you book a hotel room for 2 people and you have 4 people sleeping there, you should have booked either 2 rooms or booked that room for 4 people. But we didn't stay. So what we did was we booked the main room, the haunted room, and then we had Bailey and Lozzie. What did we do? You just walked in, didn't you? We were just like...
yeah, they just walked in 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
Just as if you'd already booked in.
You sent us a voice message just saying, look, this is where you got to walk. You go past reception, turn left, go immediately right up the stairs, and then follow to the right, and you're basically at the room you need to be at.
Yeah, because I guess, like, you could have checked in, like, the day before on someone else's shift.
Yeah.
So they weren't.
They're not going to question everyone walking through. You know,
No.
there would have been multiple people even on that day checking people in.
Yeah, but they never knew that we were even there to investigate the ghosts.
Plus,
And
they got a bar.
The very end.
Walked in for the bar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We used the bar and that. But
the checking out part was.
The checkout was.
Looking back on it, it just annoys me because I don't like lying, and the fact
White
that
lies,
we lied
little
to
white
that
lies.
poor guy,
he was all right.
Absolutely no reason.
There was no reason though. So basically, this bit didn't make it into the video, but we called down to reception to be like, have you got any? Yeah, have you got any ghost stories? And he was like, I haven't experienced anything myself, which is always like, oh, for fuck's sake. But we have like some print offs of things that other people have said has happened, and so he brought them up, and we had a little chat with him. Lozzie and Bailey hid in the toilet. We had a little chat with him, and then we left. And then like shortly afterwards, we left, and he was obviously sort of like because he had to open the door, unlock the door to let us out of the building, and he was sort of like, "Why? Where are you off to?" And I was just like, "Oh, we just stayed over. We're going to Cyprus in the morning. We're flying from Stansted." And he was like, "Oh, very nice. I've been to Cyprus." I was like, "Oh, fuck. Like, this is, you know." And it's just so unnecessary.
The worst part was 2 minutes before me and Jordan came down, Bailey and Lozzie went down and had to get let out the door
Yeah.
by the guy at like 2 or half 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
We're just leaving.
Yeah, it weren't good. It weren't good.
It doesn't matter though.
The
thing is it was
so irrelevant.
That's the thing that's like annoying.
We paid for the room. We've paid for the room,
exactly.
So it's like I don't want to sleep here. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I want to head. I want to go home.
They were allowed in the room, so why did we?
Yeah,
why
there was
were we
literally.
funny about it?
Yeah,
and
but
if they had a problem, kick us out. We were then leaving anyway.
Yeah, that was so unnecessary. But yeah, I've got it all on film. I didn't use it because it just didn't feel. I felt like it came to a natural end, but yeah, it's very. Yeah, it was a strange evening. It really was. But we had a disaster with the battery, which was strange because I swear I charged that battery and I used that camera for longer than we did without needing it charged, and it just died. And then Bailey and Maya gratefully went back and got the battery and another camera.
It was definitely worth.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But also, the thing that adds credibility to the fact that you did charge it is the time that it died. If it had just died when nothing was happening, we were filming a Ouija board where nothing was going on, then I would have been like, okay, you just didn't charge the battery, or maybe it wasn't plugged in properly, or maybe, I don't know, whatever. But the fact that it happened in that moment where we were getting so much going on adds a lot of weight to it being something spooky.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, what about you, Scott? Obviously, you weren't there, but how did you? We always discuss what we're going to be doing in our ghost hunting group chat. What was your honest thoughts on fucking hell? They're just going to a singular hotel room.
So, obviously, you told me that, and I was picturing quite a small hotel room. I mean, that was a very spacious.
It was big,
room,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Which I think took me by surprise when I saw the video. It was like, okay, it was, it was a decent size. You could all be doing sort of different things and not be tripping over each other.
Yeah.
I was picturing sort of, a really small.
Yeah, that would have been. I think that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the single room thing was fine because I think of the history of the location.
Yeah.
I think you had something to work on that was additional to just being in the room. I think if it was a single room and you knew nothing about it, it would have been a little bit different. And again, I think the aesthetic of the room sort of helped because it was very
15th
spooky.
century, I think.
Yeah. I think, if it was like a modern
like Premier Inn.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't think it wouldn't have had the same vibe to it.
No, it definitely wouldn't have.
It's like that that hotel that we booked after we went to the Paranormal Research Centre, because we booked this like weird, spooky looking Airbnb.
Yeah.
For us four, because Scott got his own Airbnb, And then us four got our own because it was so icy. We were too scared to drive home. So we thought, let's just be safe. Rather than driving home at 4 a.m, let's go get a hotel. So we found the creepiest looking one that we could find and thought, fuck it, let's just go. We'll do a quick, like, hour-long investigation just as, like, a little extra. Got there. The room was literally the smallest thing that I've ever seen in my life. It was, like, literally smaller than my desk. And we were all just sitting in there. We were like, should we not do this?
We did an Estes method, didn't we? I think we I've got that footage. Yeah, I'll have to put it on Patreon or something.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, it was. But yeah, what would you say was all three of you? What would you say was the highlight? Starting with Loz.
I do. Well, this is probably going to be the case for most of the videos. I just find the SLS camera and that whole thing really intriguing, and this one was, genuinely quite eventful with the SLS. Maybe even the main part, really, or the main bit of evidence we got.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was cool. I mean, obviously not for you because you looked quite terrifying, and well, at some point I just thought you were resigned to being killed at some point that night.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great.
Yeah, it was good for the video, so I was like, this is great.
Yeah. There's one bit that I actually misunderstood and I didn't realise until I was editing. You say something about my legs, and what you were saying was your legs are cut off because of the bed. But in my head, that went in my head as like, this entity wants my legs, which is why I go to Loz. It wants my legs, mate. Because I misunderstood completely what you just said.
It wants my legs.
Yeah, which obviously, if you actually think about that, it feels like a demon that wanted your legs. That's fucking horrible. But yeah, the SLS was really cool. It really was. Maya, what about you?
To be honest, I would say exactly the same.
Yeah.
That
it was like the main event, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, massively. And it was so cool because it was so different to anything.
Yeah, nothing we'd ever had before. Yeah.
Or that I've seen before. And also the lining up of so many different things.
When I'm on my phone and it looks like it's just like looking over my shoulder down at the phone, that was fucking rank.
It was the EMF going off the same time as the SLS going off, and it was literally so consistent with what we were catching on the SLS. And then also that weird looking figure that we caught in the cupboard door on the Polaroid as well.
Yeah, it's like a skeleton.
There's so many things that add together for that one little bit. It was amazing.
Yeah,
big fan of that SLS. And then obviously the Estes method where you touched my bloody legs.
Yeah, because you sat back and I literally, the spirit box started to drag off of the table, and I was like, shit, it's gonna fall on the floor. So I just picked it up and placed it on your leg, and fucking hell. That was as real as it gets. Like you like fucking.
If anything, this adds so much evidence that you cannot hear shit when you've got that Estes method going, because in my head, you guys know. Don't touch.
Yeah, the only time we're going to touch you is to bring you out. Yeah. And to tap
so
you, absolutely.
The Estes method had just started.
Yeah.
In my head, a ghost had literally rubbed its hands on my leg. Yeah. And that is what I felt
Your
in that
world
moment.
fell apart.
Literally, I am absolutely terrified if we actually catch some form of evidence like that, because I don't think I would have recovered from that feeling.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you could see the fear in my face.
Fucking fear, absolutely.
Oh my goodness, that was so terrifying.
You nearly yeeted through the window.
Like, yeah.
In a room where Betty's death place.
Yeah.
Imagine the irony of that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was the skit. Honestly,
yeah, that was
even like thinking about it again brings back all like the emotions that I went through. I'm going through PTSD right now.
I was just so confused. I was like, "Fucking hell, are you alright? What the fuck?"
Yeah, because obviously for you guys, you just went, "Oh, the thing's falling off the table. Let's put it on her lap." What the fuck is wrong with her?
Yeah, and then you just fucking.
But in my head, had no idea that was going on, and I'd just been touched up by Betty. So
I was concerned for the safety of the spirit box at that point, because I thought she was going to just eat that as well.
yeah. What about you, Scott, as a viewer? And feel free to say the SLS because it was a massive point. But yeah, what do you think?
I think it was the way you were sort of following something around the room.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's sort of you'd start at one point, you'd get a load of evidence on the EMF, etc., and then it would just stop, and you'd have to go somewhere else in the room.
Yeah, but it was like a trail, wasn't it?
Yeah, and everything would move. It would be the SLS would move.
Yeah.
The Estes would work better in certain locations. It just seemed really weird. Like you were following almost a route around the room.
Yeah, and like what the point that Maya made about the stone tape theory, like if that was, her walking around the bed or something like that, just replaying or, but no, it was.
I noticed throughout just on the stone tape theory thing, I've thought about it more since obviously we came away from the investigation. I know that we were getting like intelligent responses from things like the Estes method and stuff, but they were not direct responses to questions. They were more like words that were related to what happened, like husband, things like that. So like we got nothing on the Ouija board, nothing on the dowsing rod, and then with the Estes method it wasn't really like direct answers to questions. It was more just words that were related to what was going on. So yeah, I'm 1,000% convinced that's what we were witnessing, and that's why it was moving around the room, and we were able to follow it and lose it and things like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when you bring up the dowsing rods, that was really interesting for me. Like, because the dowsing rods, we got shit all, right? But that to me was really good because I was just like, holy shit! If you compare that to the research center, where they were just going whoop, like
swinging,
and there was so nothing. Easily. They literally just wouldn't move. It was like wow,
and it was Bailey holding them both times as well,
both
so
times.
It's not any difference. But that's something that I do like. It's always disappointing when you don't get anything happen on pieces of equipment. However, I love how much credibility it adds to evidence that you've caught previously. Like if those dowsing rods were swinging about all the time, every time we used them, I'd be like, right, well, they're just, there's some sort of science behind it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
it's like debunking it. It's great.
Yeah, which we, I'm not going to say whether we do or not, but as in whether we do debunk or not, but in the farmhouse, we make a massive effort to try and explain how the fuck that apparition, if it was like a reflection or something, was there in the original video, and we try our utmost. So that's a really interesting part of the video that's coming out on Sunday. Shall we get the video up? Let's just scan through and see what we can see. Let's have a look at the trailer. What did we put in the trailer for this one? I love doing these trailers. Oh, do we have the sound, Lozzie?
The sound's fully up on mine, and I can hear it through my speakers from my headphones.
Is there like it's not a problem, but do we have a little button that says like share audio or something? By the way, guys watching on YouTube, we may have some technical difficulties. I'm going to do this in one take because I can't edit at the moment. So yeah, it's not an issue though. If we can't get the video, we'll just continue it as a Q&A. But I do love doing those trailers because it gets you thinking like, oh, this is going to come up in the video, but it also just I try to keep a balance of, I don't want to give too many things away. I don't want to use like, I don't want to call them like the good bits, but I don't want to use like all the good bits in the trailer. But at the same time, I do love just a meaty, like, holy shit, all these things are happening in the trailer. But yeah, it's quite cool. But yeah, the aesthetic of that room was awesome. And that behind my left shoulder there, that's a glass pane, and behind that was the original brickwork, wasn't it? Like the original wall from like 15 something, which is crazy.
And again, if we're playing into certain elements of the stone tape theory, which is one variation of it, is that energy gets imprinted on surrounding material.
Yeah.
Generally marble, but I don't see why it couldn't be something like brick.
Yeah,
and having the exposed brickwork there could almost lead into that.
Very true, very true. Why don't we just play it on mute, Loz? Just have it in the background, and we can just kind of discuss.
Yeah, I'm just looking on here just to see if there is a way to share the audio. But what I'll do, I'll play it.
Yeah.
I'll have a look.
There we go. But yeah, the SLS is a really cool addition to the repertoire. Is that the right word? The wrong word? To the arsenal, But yeah. So overall, how did we think that this went? The investigation.
I thought it, to be honest, is one of my favourites, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was really pleasantly surprised. I really was.
Yeah, just sorry, Scott. The amount of content, like you said at the start, the amount of content we got from that just one room, is just amazing to me.
Yeah, and it kind of sets a precedent where it's like, if you've got, obviously being a haunted location fucking helps, but if you've got the history and a cool aesthetic and good chemistry, I think you can make a video out of it, because like I said, I was fucking very surprised that we got what we got from one singular room, because it's important as a viewer, like it's good to have, differentiation and scene changes and all that sort of stuff. So when you can't have that because you have to stay in one room, it needs other sources of entertainment, you know what I mean? Like obviously we have different pieces of equipment, we were having a laugh at the same time, and then we get serious, and yeah, it just gives me confidence going forward. I'm not bad mouthing this location at all. It's just a concern I had prior to the haunted hotel. Is the Derby jail or gal? Do you pronounce it jail or gal, Scott?
One of those.
It's like G-A-O-L. But anyway, my concern was it's like 2 cells, and it's a very, very small location. But now it's got loads of history, and obviously it's an old jail and all this sort of stuff. Well, we made so much out of a fucking hotel room. I'm sure that we could make an entertaining video out of a location.
That's
like
such a good point.
Yeah,
I thought we'd borderline taken that one off the list, but no, that's a really, really good point. We should try go there, maybe next
Derby.
Possibly.
We do need something for April.
Yeah.
Here he is. Oh, this was really cool. This was really cool. This is what I tried to do. Right, I did this twice. So I thought, Lozzie coming up the drive. That's a fun, happy moment. And so I twisted it and made it all dark and eerie. And then I did it again when someone said I thought it was going to be a brand deal. When I'm making that cup of tea, and I'm because that was when my Facebook had just gone to shit, on the reach and stuff, and I was inside, I was so pissed off, and so I was I've had a hard week. But then I slowed the music down, then I stuck it in reverse, and I put some glitches and shit, and then kind of made it into this horrible, almost dream or nightmare sequence. But yeah, it just made me laugh. Someone said to me or commented, I honestly thought that was going to be a brand deal placement. Nope.
Which would have been a good one.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
I am
HelloFresh should have held out for an investigation.
On this.
Oh yeah, if we didn't have the light on top of the camera, the yellow's fucking grim.
The minute we turned the lights off and have the light on,
yeah,
the room light was awful. It was so yellow.
Yeah.
So great call for that one. But yeah, something that I'll say just about that clip of you walking into the hotel room. It was really weird how different the hotel was in certain parts.
Yeah.
They've got the main reception and the east wing is all new, so it's all just normal hotel, and then you have these 2 rooms that are just completely secluded from the rest of the hotel, which is this room and Betty's husband's room, and they are just completely left how they were back in the day, and it's so weird the difference between the 2 areas, and we were so far away from other people. It was really nice to be completely excluded.
Yeah.
Which was quite cool.
Also, I don't know if this works in other hotels, but we have a fucking hotel life hack right? So that's obviously the what's it called, honeymoon suite, right? So we accidentally booked the wrong room, and then we got there and we were like, oh shit, we got the wrong room. I think we got room 28. We wanted room 29 or something like that, and we were like, oh, we got the wrong room. Can we have room 29, please? And they're like, yeah, sure. We'll just move you across. Now, all of the rooms are small, except for this room, because it's the honeymoon suite, and we didn't get charged any extra. They just moved us across. Now, I don't know if that's a hack or not, if that'll work in other hotels, but if you book like a single room and you're like, and you find out what numbers the bigger rooms are, and you just go, oh, I don't suppose I can move over to this room, they might not charge you, because they didn't in this gaff.
There you go.
So there we go.
Yeah, because we were
hotel
told
hack.
that it was room 28 and 29, and it turned out that it was 29 and 30 that were the two haunted rooms, 29 being the most haunted one.
And we got
So I said,
28.
can we have room 28 or 29? So obviously they booked us into the standard one, number 28, which isn't haunted. It's in the normal wing. Could you imagine if I hadn't have spotted that?
Oh,
we literally spotted it about an hour before we were leaving. We were just looking into
because we were just doing some more history,
And then I was like, fuck, I've booked the wrong room. And then Jordan called and they were like, he was like, is there any way that you can move us over? And they were like, yeah, it's free. Go for it.
Yeah.
So
fortunately we went into the right room.
And I'm glad that we got this one over the husband's room.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But actually, just to get, because obviously this is a Q&A as well. I think Scott, you asked this question. Was it you that asked the question? Would I change anything? Would we change anything?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just double check. Don't want to give you credit.
Sounds like something I'd have asked.
Yes, you did.
No, that's when I wasn't planning on being here.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd do differently for this investigation? Looking back, yes, I'd book both rooms.
Yeah.
I'd book 29 and 30, and then we'd just, we could, not that we needed to, because like I said, there's more than enough room, but we could obviously investigate both rooms. We could split off into pairs. We could sleep. Yeah.
We didn't need to lie.
We didn't need to lie. We didn't need to lie. But yeah, and that could have been cool as well, though. That could have been cool to sleep, because you get woken up in the middle of the night. Scary. You never know. So, yeah. Also, what I liked about this investigation from an editing perspective is any reference we made to any other video, even Atma and opening this doll up, I put it in just for a split second. So it's like the visual thing there was, I was really, really happy with that.
Yeah, I think.
And it also shows how many investigations we've fucking done, which is they're really stacking up now. What do you say, Scott? Sorry?
I think the way you did sort of all the overlays in this one, including the clips and the pictures and that from the history, were really good.
Yeah.
I think it just sort of the way the background blurred out and the images appeared over the top.
Absolutely, because that's the thing. Because static images can be quite I don't know. If you have them on the screen for too long, they can be a little bit not boring, but you know what I mean? Like people switch off. But if if you have a video playing behind it, even if it's just like a staticky one, like I had, it does just bring the image to life. So I'm still waiting for that fucking bear to go off.
That bear, man. I was literally going to text you a
spoilers
minute
for the
ago,
farmhouse.
to say we didn't get it out.
Nah, we forgot. We had the REM pod though. It's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, they literally are exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
exactly the same thing. But yeah, I was literally going to text you a minute ago. You should do a video, tier listing your.
Oh yeah, tier listing the equipment.
So you can do a portion where you explain it, like you did at the start of this video, and then tier list it all. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, so rather than sit and have all the pictures and then I just drag them in, I'm like, oh, I think that the Estes method is S tier. I can literally be stood at the table discussing it, say what I think it is, and then just a tier list comes up and it comes on, rather than it being a tier list for the whole video. That could be really cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. But yeah, because it's just strictly paranormal on the channel now, guys. Strictly paranormal. Anything to do with the investigations will be on the channel. Anything else? Go over to the Facebook, all right? But yeah, I also want to apologise for the hat that I chose, because you may see some like grey streaks down the side of the hat. That is because I wore that hat at some point to the fucking gym. That, as disgusting as it is sweat. And I was watching this the whole time I was fucking editing it. I was like, you have a dry sweat hat on, you filthy bastard.
Filthy
It's
animals.
just disgusting. So yeah, all my hats have
Nobody
gone
would
in
have
the
known
wash.
if you hadn't said that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You should not pick up. Don't pick up. I can't cut anything. My wrist is fucked. That's it. Now you know. Look, can you see it? Look, it's worse on the other side.
Take a drink every time Jordan mentions his wrist.
Well, I've got to do it. You know what I mean? Injury lawyers for you.
Have you had an accident at work that wasn't your fault?
Yeah, I took a lunch break and went and did boxing, but it's technically during my work day. Oh, here we go. Love this bit. So it's like all normal, and then it just slowed. There you go. And then on that glitch, I started to slow the music down and shit. And then I just did the weird laugh anyway to the camera, because that's just me being broken inside. But oh, I like this bit. This bit to me, I don't know. That shot was just so like, yeah, didn't it? It's really weird. It's like Maya's spotters. I was like Maya's spotters of it, and then like the zoom out and then the pan. It's literally like fucking something out of like Sunny or fucking the Kardashians. See, I don't know.
I got Paranormal Activity vibes from it.
Did you?
Yeah.
The sort of handheld camera parts of that, not the CCTV.
Can you just rewind to that, Loz? I know we ain't got any audio. Just that bit. So it just goes where I'm like being weird on the coffee bit. Yeah. Just when it cuts out of that, just me sat there. It's just, I don't know why. It's just just that one shot. It's just like, just feels so different to all the others. Look. I think it's definitely the zooms. I think it's the zooms. And like just like the tone. But yeah. Maya looks perplexed. What's up? Paranormal Activity.
It must be because there's a slight delay and I could just hear you a little bit. But it sounded like there was a woman speaking. So I thought that like the TV had turned on downstairs.
Do I have a feminine voice?
It's that high-pitched voice of yours.
Jesus.
That's it.
No, I haven't heard anything
fucking
since.
Dawn's here. Oof. To find out who Dawn is, stay tuned Sunday.
Maya's doing a like on the sly Estes method and we don't even know.
Yeah. Oh, I love the bathroom in this place. You just like went through the bathroom. It's just like totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like obviously you need modern amenities, I guess. But yeah. Bucket,
chuck it.
So Jay says, did this investigation change the way you think of the paranormal? If so, how?
I mean, I would say yes, because of the stone tape theory thing.
Yeah, the EMF.
To be honest, because this is the first time that we've caught like that kind of evidence, and I thought that was really cool. Obviously, I've heard of stone tape theory, and I've always thought that it was really, really interesting. There's the light change.
Yeah, that there. You turn the light off. It's just the overhead light. Just the camera light. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but yeah, actually seeing and witnessing that stone tape theory, I thought was really, really cool. So
yeah,
I would say that it has changed my opinion, because it's not just like question and answer ghosts and intelligent ghosts. It's cool to know that there is like different forms of spirits and energies and things like that.
Yeah,
which is really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Lozzie, did it convince you? Are you sold yet?
I'm not convinced just yet.
Do you feel less skeptical as you're joining us on more things, or?
I haven't felt like there's anything that's made me feel any less skeptical than I am.
Yeah, which is totally fine.
I would say is that I'm kind of trying to understand what each equipment does and how it works and what is the science behind it. So I'm still yet to. I don't fully understand, but I know how the things work. I know how we get the feedback from it. So the Estes method, we obviously ask the questions, and then someone else who can't hear the questions is trying to communicate through what they hear in the radio scanner. But I struggled to figure out how I know it's difficult to really explain or try and figure out because it's meant to be paranormal, but I'm trying to apply logic to it, and maybe that's where I'm going wrong. I don't know, but I'm stuck in that coned vision of everything's got a logical answer, but maybe
that's the thing for me. Sorry, go for it, Scott.
So that still disappoints me about the Lozzie not being at the Ancient Ram Inn for the mirror.
I know,
That's the one thing
that literally, I was on the fence with this shit, and that is what I was like, that cannot be explained by any fucking normal means, like any rational means. That is inexplicable. Unless you go down the paranormal route, then all of a sudden there's explanations, and that is where I am currently at. It's like there is, I don't know if there's a god and Satan and demons and shit, but there is categorically, in my mind, because of what I've experienced, things that rational science cannot explain. So if you have a moment like that, Loz, it'll be fucking awesome.
The thing for me is, as much as I am truly convinced by the Estes method, Ouija boards, etc., etc., I understand that there is scientific explanations for them. So when we catch evidence on those, no matter how compelling it is, for me, that's never going to take me over the edge. And I assume it's the same for you, Lozzie, as well. That those, no matter what we caught on those, even if it literally said Maya, Jordan, Lozzie, Bailey, and Scott, we'd still be like, well, maybe
it
someone
could be like,
have been talking about us on the radio.
Or it could be like confirmation bias. It can be all sorts of stuff, can't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. But things like the mirror in the ram and the apparition at the farmhouse, which is yet to be explained, either of those are the type of events that are going to be the ones that take us over. Which is really exciting.
It is.
It is. I think I said it before, though. It's probably going to take something really big. Like, it's going to have to be something that I see. Maybe not even something that any of you see. It's going to have to be something that I see, like a full apparition or even a partial one. It's going to have to be something big. I don't know if I'm going to be convinced by. Definitely, Ouija boards for me are just completely off the table. I can't get into the mindset of actually anything happening on a Ouija board.
I know what you mean. I think with Ouija boards, from all of my experiences, right, they've never. I just want to say I hate the fact that I use purple. I hate the fact that I use purple outline on the text. I will never do that again. But anyway, Never again. The thing that I don't like about Ouija boards is all of my experiences, they've moved very, very, and I genuinely trust every single person that that we've done these Ouija boards with in our team, right? And they move ever so slightly in the smallest of manners, which could be micro tremors. And I've done a lot of Ouija boards now, and it's always been that way. Really small movements, right? And then you see, and I'm not naming any names, but you see some other people do Ouija boards, and they're just like gliding across. And it's just like, that's just not it. Like, if what I'm getting is, I don't know, because like I say, mine is more, or ours, is more explainable by micro tremors, without a doubt, right? Gliding across is just, unless we're doing it wrong and they're actually getting like spirits, that's bollocks,
That's the thing. There's always that point of, it doesn't happen to us, and I've not seen it, so I don't believe it. But then I also wasn't convinced by the Estes method until we did the Estes method. It's one of those, the day that we do a Ouija board and it does just like fling itself across, I'll be convinced.
Oh,
but until
fucking
then,
hell.
it's very much,
Yeah, if it did that, holy shit, I would. If the Ouija board did that, Or even better, what I would love them to do, which is what happens in Paranormal Activity, which I'm fully aware is a fucking film, but I don't understand why it can't do this. Yeah. Why it doesn't move when no one touches it, right? I'd love to leave a planchette on a board, walk away, come back, and it's moved. I'd fucking love that. But I think I would absolutely shit myself.
Yeah.
If that happens.
I think the thing is also with these people that, again, we won't name, is if it happened on one Ouija board where it was shooting across the board and then every other time they either got nothing or they got what we get where it's really, really slow, then I'd be like, fair enough. But it's the people that literally get these, like, the whole Ouija board every single time they do one. It's like, you're someone in your team is lying.
Yeah,
and
until that happens to us, which I just don't think it will, I will just refuse to believe that is legitimate. I just can't.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, like this. I'm not even going to give that example, but it's just not how it works. If ours isn't microtremors, which, by the way, I just want to say, microtremors have been scientifically proven, and they are completely subliminal, like subconscious, like you can't control it, right? But if that is what is going on, which is entirely possible, which again is why I'm sure, Lozzie, you said, like, I will never regard the Ouija board as, something tangible. I can't remember where I was going with that. What was I saying? I was saying that the microtremors.
Until then.
Yeah, until then. Yeah.
Until it's not microtremors.
No. So basically, what I was saying was, like, although ours could be microtremors, could also be legit. Who knows if these Ouija boards are actually a portal to the other side? But if they are, and what we're getting is legit, what are we doing wrong?
Yeah.
Because we're obviously doing something wrong because we're not gliding across the board if it's all legit, So it's very, I know I took a minute to get there and I lost my train. But yeah, that was kind of what I was trying to get at. It's like, if they are legit, then we're doing something fucking wrong.
Something that I have definitely noticed is our most recent, say, 4 explorations, we have got nothing.
Shit all on the Ouija boards. Yeah,
absolutely nothing.
I didn't actually want to bring it to the farmhouse.
That to, yeah, I know. The only reason that I still encourage them is because in our early investigations we do them and then everything would kick off. So I'm still holding on to that hope that that's what will happen. But there's 2 explanations for why I think these have slowed down. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My screen keeps lagging, and you guys.
No, you're not lagging at all.
Yeah. The 2 things that
don't allude to anything in the farmhouse.
One, we're becoming more experienced. No, of course not.
Yeah.
One, we're becoming more experienced, and perhaps a Ouija board isn't as scary anymore, and therefore those microtremors are not. Because like when we first did Ouija boards, they were scary.
You I mean, in the asylum, you were shaking.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like perhaps the microtremors are, they're exaggerated because you're literally shaking or you're literally scared or, things like that. So I think now that we've become more experienced, I'm not nervous to do a Ouija board anymore. And the second thing that I'm thinking is from the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre. We were getting activity. That's the last Ouija board. Everyone before that, I think, went quite well. But the one that we did in the research centre, it was moving, and then we broke the connection before we said goodbye. And I feel like since we did that, we have got nothing on Ouija boards. So it could potentially be something to do with that, which would be really weird.
Yeah. Could potentially, absolutely. It definitely could be. Because you're not supposed to do that, are you? But then in the research centre, they're like, we do what we want and we break the rules to try and kick things off, which I do think is quite cool.
Potentially. But maybe the reason that you're not supposed to break that connection is for different reasons and not because you're opening that connection through the board.
Yeah.
Or maybe because we left that we left that portal, that connection open. Maybe that's why Ouija boards don't work for us anymore.
Maybe.
I do really like the comparison there of we went from one place that was you're not doing a Ouija board, they're not allowed, etc., to come in, do what you want, just don't do everything that's against what a Ouija board is. It's very much like the opposite ends of the Ouija board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sort of spectrum there.
I think that's a very interesting thing that 30 East Drive do, because it does actually add an aura of fear around Ouija boards, to be like, look, do not do that in this house because it will make things worse. It's like, wow. Like, because surely if you have a haunted house, you want it to get as bad as it possibly can, no? But yeah, here you go. Here comes the EMF stuff. It was just really fascinating. But yeah, it was a very, very, very enjoyable investigation. We're gonna, because we're on 45 minutes already, so to save this from being longer than the original investigation, which these often do become, let's just we've got a few questions that will they're not really attached to this investigation, but just in general. We have Sam Hunter says, has there been a moment on either this investigation or another where you've genuinely thought you need to stop in case something seriously bad could happen? Yes.
I feel like I feel like on the latest one we've just done, that always went out soon, there was a moment in there that I was like, okay, we might be in a bit of shit here. But fortunately it didn't pan out that way. But at the time we were like, oh fuck, what's going on? What is going on? Yeah, that's the only time I've actually felt anything slightly like that. I haven't thus far, but I've done a lot less than you guys, so
I mean, I think Scott will probably say the Ancient Ram Inn.
Yeah.
Because when I started saying your name and then you're in trouble and then you're like, why? And then I was like,
Yeah. I've not quite felt fear to that level.
Yeah.
I don't think since or obviously before.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience, wasn't it?
That being the first one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just so many things through that investigation where we were like, we need to get out now. To the point there was like half an hour where we were hiding in the car park because we were all so petrified. Like,
and then we realised that was
actually
worse.
Better than that.
Yeah, because then you're just staring at the windows. It's like, oh my fucking god. But yeah, also the asylum, when we did a Ouija board, funnily enough, and it counted down.
Oh shit, yeah.
And then that was just really strange. That was just really, really strange, because they say like, oh, if a Ouija board counts down, you can't let it get to 0 because otherwise then it gets released or some shit. And so we didn't allow that. But after that, in a building that for an hour and a half had been dead silent, all of a sudden there was bangs, creaks, and all sorts of shit going on, and it was just like an urgency to leave. It was just horrendous. And then we literally went to a pub where someone got bottled. So, and they say that when you do Ouija boards, it can give you bad luck, blah blah blah. So, that was just a fucking surreal one. That really, really was. That really, really was.
Yeah.
We really need to get back in contact with them.
Go back to that pub.
Because they literally said, because the landlord, amongst all the chaos, they were fucking locking us in. Because this guy's outside bottling people, the police are on their way, everyone get, shut up, stay there, blah, blah, and then he's here, Dudey! And I just look across, the fucking landlord is a fan. I'm just like, what the fuck? Lovely guy, got us around, thank you so much. But he was like, this place is haunted too. We can just do a lock-in if you want, after hours.
Let's do it.
Yeah, can you've got him on Instagram, haven't you?
It was Owen, wasn't it?
Yeah, can you, dox him? Oh, I joke.
Fuck off, he literally said his name in the video.
Imagine that.
Fucking hell.
But
that's such a rare name.
Yeah, Owen.
Yeah, there he is.
But yeah, so So yeah, we'll see what we can do. But it was 2021, so yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now it's cool.
Another one is our very, very, very first investigation when just me and you went to the.
Oh yeah, that was just fucking stupidity.
Base.
Yeah, that was absolutely fucking
life,
stupid.
Man. I know.
Going into an abandoned building with just 2 people.
But when that door slammed.
Yeah.
And then we knew that we had to travel to the other side of the building and squeeze out of a window that was this fucking big.
A glorified
and then
post box. Yeah. It's fucking horrendous. Yeah, drop down about fucking 7 or 8 foot the other side. So you're like pushing your feet first to like slide through to then basically fucking poleaxe your spine to fuck it. Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, because it was like
absolutely awful.
A bunker with a window on the side, so you shoot out of the side and then you have to like
drop
curl
down,
your legs around and then drop down. Your fucking back's being all cut up.
Stupid.
And doing that in a rush while you think you're being chased by some fucking homeless people that want you dead. Not fun.
Is this the place that there was the potentially bloody?
Yeah, that was
yes,
wrapped up body upstairs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then we went back. Then we went back, and the door was locked.
A different door altogether.
The door had been changed and had been.
Oh yeah,
locked.
yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a full thing on stream, like comparing the door handles and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then when we went back, there was like a seemingly a shadow figure looking behind a curtain.
Oh, that's rank.
Yeah, not good at all.
That place is rank.
It is. Right, we have 2 more, which I don't want to retread old ground too much because they literally say the answer, my answer, in their question. But Charlie Wilkinson says, what's been the most convincing evidence you've found on your investigation so far? I'm guessing the mirror. Yes, for me it still remains. Remains the mirror. What about you guys?
I'd probably take over, I would say equal to, is the apparition.
Yeah. Do you know what I love about the apparition is that we didn't spot it. They're always the best ones. Like, literally, you look at, and I love it in the fucking comments when they're like, what the fuck was that at 45 minutes 23? And you look and you're just like, oh my fucking God, I was in a house with that. It's just fucking rank. It's brilliant. I love it when the audience
imagine if we'd have
spots
seen
shit.
that in the moment.
I'd have shit myself. Fuck. Well, I mean, I couldn't have possibly seen it because I was coming out of the wardrobe, but unless it was no, I guess I would. I don't know. I don't know how they work. Yeah. Reflections. Maybe it's a mirror dimension. Who knows? But yeah, what about you guys? What about Scott?
I think the mirror is still the most unexplainable.
Yeah.
But in terms of creepy, the thing that we didn't really look into a lot, the knocking at the Haunted Antique Centre.
Yes.
I think we were sat when we were all sat around and there was knocking on the wall next to us.
Yeah.
On the 3rd or 4th story of the building that no one could have possibly been on the other side of.
No, because going up them stairs for a start is really creaky weird. As shit.
Yeah, if there was anyone in the building with us up there, we'd have heard them.
Yeah.
And obviously there was nothing outside that it could have been.
Yeah.
But it was just that. But it was distinct knocking.
Yeah.
And like we've said a few times, there's no radiators in that place.
No.
It couldn't have been, creaking pipes because there are no pipes.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very true. What about you?
Probably one of those two.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. What about you, Loz? Let's not say the most convincing, because as you say, you're still skeptical. What is the scariest moment so far for you? Has your ass fell out yet?
I wouldn't say my ass has fell out, but I did feel uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable at points in the farmhouse we've just done.
Excellent. Good promo.
In all honesty, it's not anything that I'm thinking paranormal. It's the constant, not fear, because I don't think there's like a plague of homeless people like PCP'd up, just going around trying to stab us. But it's the thought that there might be someone around that area who's, thinking that we're trying to claim something that they think's theirs, or it's just that constant thought, and you're always going to get that with abandoned stuff.
Yes.
Whereas the research center, the paranormal research center, and the Bell Inn, you're not really going to get those two things. So
yeah,
I'd say for those other two locations, I'd go for the SLS stuff, just because it's a visual feedback I can see. Going on. But for the abandoned places, it will most likely be I am worried about being stabbed with a dirty needle.
That's a great shout. No, that is a great shout. They do. I've always said it. The abandoned places, they just have this edge of an edge in the sense of like legitimate danger, because you have There's other nice plank in the bed. There's also. Is there someone around here, that doesn't want us here, blah, blah, blah. But there's also, this building is falling down. Right. Okay, cool.
And
we can fall through
at any time.
Yeah, we can fall through the floor. Something can fall down. The building can collapse. It's just, they're not great. And they're not smart.
Asbestos.
So don't do it. Yeah, asbestos. Don't do them, kids. They're not safe.
I know you did say at the Ram Inn, that was one of your favourite bits of that, was that it was locked off.
Yeah, you literally had, there's a Polaroid with the wardrobe.
Yes, so right.
You literally had a hub, and it's nice to have chargers. It's nice to be able to charge your
electricity,
equipment.
Lights.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when you bloody bring them.
Yeah, that's it. Lozzie, can you take us back to the main screen, please? We'll tie it up now. We'll finish with one question from Dylan Craig. He says, have you read about a case so disturbing that it haunts you to this day? If so, which? Probably the Sylvia Likens case, I would imagine. But I have to say, when we go to these locations, to bring it back to paranormal, when we go to these locations, when you do read the history, it's like the haunted hotel, that the idea of like Betty, this woman, being murdered in the room that you stood in. It's very, very disturbing. It's very disturbing. But yeah, I'm very proud of the portfolio that we're putting together. And I just think we're learning a lot every time. And Scott, hopefully you can join us next time. You missed 2 now.
Yeah,
but the problem is we planned them.
Yeah, you're not the farmhouse. Yeah.
We planned them like 4 or 5 days before, and that's in like 14-hour coach journey.
The farmhouse you planned on the Monday.
Yeah.
For the Friday.
Because the thing with that was I was planning on doing Rendlesham Forest this month, but the Rendlesham Forest expert who will be joining us and giving us a guided tour of Rendlesham Forest said summertime is when it gets funky. So I was like, well, let's not rush it then. If you say that there's more stuff go on in the summertime, then let's go then. So really looking forward to that, because that one's got a UFO angle. You've been there before, haven't you, Loz? You've seen like the statue in there.
Yeah, I've only been there during the day, but I've walked around it. You can definitely get the vibe that would be a place of like high UFO sightings, just because it's just like stereotypically that sort of vibe that you get from the place. But yeah, it's this massive forest, so there'll be a lot of space to
definitely
do stuff.
Well, what we're gonna do, I don't know if I told you guys, is Ronnie, who's gonna be taking us around, he's gonna take us around during the daylight to give us the tour. This is where this happened, this is blah blah blah, and then we return, but he said don't return until after midnight. So we'll be doing like daytime, but it'll be summertime, so I say don't return, like daytime technically can be up to 10 o'clock. So I think if we did like, I don't know, 7 till fucking 8:30 doing this tour, then go get some dinner and then go back, and then we do the paranormal stuff. But yeah, so it's gonna be cool. And that's not even this month. I don't know what I'm telling you, because that's not for April, that's for May. But yeah, so we'll figure something out for April ASAP, because obviously I had to like think on my feet because it was about mid-March. We were like, shit, we're not doing Rendlesham now. Quickly, let's think of something. Let's go back to the farmhouse. So yeah, we'll find something cool that you can come to in April, Scott. And yeah, we will ride again. Very, very exciting. And also, I might be in talks to turn our paranormal investigations into a series on Snapchat, which is going to be very interesting and could come with funding for better locations. Oh, exciting. So yeah, lots of exciting things coming. But yeah, this is an hour. I was going to hopefully make it half an hour, but never mind. You know, it is what it is. No, but I'm not going to wait as long for the farmhouse Q&A. So hopefully we can sit down next week and do that, or maybe the week after. But yeah, so the farmhouse comes out on Sunday. Look forward to that. But yeah, the Haunted Hotel was amazing. Really enjoyed it. Very proud of the outcome of the video. And yeah, thank you for joining me, guys, for doing this Q&A reaction. I appreciate it. And we shall speak with you soon. Actually, before I forget, let's do a Patreon of the day. Let's have a look. Who we got? Okay. Lloyd Lawson. You're the patron of the day. Thank you so much. If you would like to become a patron, you can do so for just £1/$1 a month. Thank you to all my patrons. I really appreciate it. Okay. See you on Sunday. Sweet one. Yes.